Welcome to the Oddity Report. I'm your host. I go by the name of Denoter. Now, this show today is going to be different. Typically, when we have discussions, it's about issues of the day, newsworthy, typically matters that have an impact on your personal life and well-being in some fashion. But today is going to be like one of those pick you up by the bootstraps, like to give you some motivation, some encouragement for you to no longer procrastinate, for you to pursue your dreams and goals with vigor and great enthusiasm. That's what this show is about. So over the weekend, I was binge watching one of my favorite shows, the Flavorful Love. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar, Flavorful Love, the star of the show, the gentleman's name is Flav. So he was one of the prominent members of the rap group Public Enemy. And I remember growing up, listening to some of their songs. One of my favorite songs was Fight the Power, right? And the leader of the group was Chuck D. I mean, you had Professor Griff, and then you also had Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav was like, he was the hype man. Like, his job was to pretty much get the crowd going. He was really good at it. His signature piece was he will wear a giant clock. He will wear a giant clock. And he mentioned that the significance of the giant clock was like time is precious and valuable. So he would always be mindful of it. And that was the objective. So Flavor Flav is actually a musical genius. He's very talented. He played numerous instruments, but you wouldn't know that. Just in terms of seeing how he's being portrayed on Flavor of Love. And the whole premise of the show, Flavor of Love, is you have women from all over the country. They would compete for his love and affection. The winner would basically become his girlfriend. We went on to have 3 successful seasons of this show. Now, there are some notable females that some of you may know from other reality shows. One name is Delicious. You have Hoops. You have Becky. She was on Love and Hip Hop. But she was actually a former contestant on his show. So, Flavor of Love would have women engage in all sorts of activities in order to compete, right? They would cook in meals, they would run around in burlap bags, they would, write him poetry, they would perform plays, they would do a whole host of things. Some of them were kosher, some of them not too kosher. But this is what they chose to do for fame and notoriety. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with Flavor Flav, you have yet to have the opportunity to Google him and look him up and get a sense of what he looks like. Look, one comedian described him as, in terms of his physical appearance, as a skeleton wrapped in electrical tape. Now, as befitting as that description may be, those are not my words. Not my words. His words. But it's pretty funny when you think about it. But I would never describe a human being that way because it's pretty cruel. But perhaps Flavor Flav may agree with that description. I don't know. Maybe yes. Maybe no. So for those of you may be thinking okay, so what does it have to do with being, you were going to give advice, you said about encouragement and not procrastinating and getting on with the business of accomplishing your goals and dreams and aspirations. Look, Flavor Flav, which I think is appropriate that I talk about, is successful because he believed in himself. He believed in himself. He didn't care what other people thought about him. He doesn't care whether or not you think he's attractive or not. He thinks himself attractive. That's all that matters. That was enough to ignite the flame beneath his wings to give him flight. That's the mindset that you need to have, is that you're going to be facing opposition and things that suggest to you that it is impossible, but you have to be stubborn. You have to be relentless in believing, even if there is no indication that what you think or believe is true. You have to ignore it. You have to reject it. You have to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Flavor Flav did. He did it to the point where he was able to, again, and he still is considered to be like a mega figure. If you look at some of the celebrities today, they model themselves after Flavor Flav. You really look at Snoop Dogg and his mannerisms. He models himself after Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav is the epitome of someone who believes in himself and is successful as a result of it. Despite all of his shortcomings, despite all of the hardships and the fact that people may have a particular opinion and view about him, but he doesn't care. And that's the attitude all of you should have in terms of how you face your adversities and hardships and disappointments and setbacks. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. That's the starting point. That's the seed. That's going to be the catalyst that's going to allow for you to get to the next step. And for those of you who may be sitting and saying, well, I can't believe in myself because I ain't got nothing to believe in. I ain't got no talent. I ain't got no money. I ain't got nothing. Nothing. No reason whatsoever to believe in myself. My friend, for those of you who's sharing that view, who's sharing that perspective that you have no reason, to you I say, if you can't believe in yourself, if you can't believe in yourself, if you find that challenging, that you are incapable of believing in yourself, well, guess what? Believe in Flavor Flav.